weekend. All right, let's see if it wants to rotate. Rotate the vice. Let's just do this. It's freaking out. I don't know if it will hold. Let's work this out. We're working it out. We're working it out. Rotate the vice. I do apologize. I don't know why it continues to do that. It's almost like I've got the phone locked, but I don't have the phone locked. It's almost like I've got the phone locked, but I don't have the phone locked. Like if I'm looking landscape, it will swing the text landscape. So I'm intrigued. But anyway, we're good anyway. We're going to move on. We're lengthways. I apologize if that frustrates people, but really this is more about a dialogue. So I'm not presenting charts or anything. I will try and do some chart stuff tonight, probably about 7 p.m. Perth time, or maybe even a bit earlier. Back to work, back to the normal day job for a little while. I've just got to work a few things. Normal day job for a little while. I've just got to work a few things out on when I'll get back to Sydney and things like that. But I don't want to bore people with, everyday sort of normal stuff, and we'll get straight into talking potential setups. So in regards to what's happened in the Forex market, the US dollar was pretty strong still the whole week, essentially, across, most of the majors, really. The pound moved a little bit higher, but it wasn't anything ridiculous. So that was one thing that I did notice. The pound sort of had a little bit of strength. But everything, was pretty strong. So what I'm looking at potentially, I do have currently 2 open positions, and they've got risk on. So I've got the USD Swiss long, I've got the New Zealand US dollar as a short. We've got the learner driver. I don't know what the learner driver's doing. Let's overtake the learner driver. We'll see. Thought he'd come in this lane. He didn't come in this lane. It's good. But it is a beautiful Sunday here in Perth as well. We're looking at, wow, what is that thing? It's like a Lotus race car. Wow, that was ridiculous. I've been hearing a lot about Lotus as being a very good investment as well, because modern cars won't be able to sort of replicate that, like a street legal car, because of increased safety regulations. So that was an interesting thing that I saw. That was a bit of a sidetrack, I apologize. But beautiful day. I'm headed to the gym. I thought I'd make a video. I sort of enjoy this sort of productivity. I'm in the car, not doing a lot, and it's good to sort of review things and discuss potential trade setups. So a potential is a sell on the Aussie dollar. So where it currently closed on the 4-hour time frame, you've got the previous candle on the 4-hour was a really nice engulfing candle. So it was very bearish, closed near its low. It was sort of ticking all the boxes. And Connor and I discussed about this yesterday in Trade Talk. So Trade Talk was a bit of an interesting episode yesterday. We normally do it every Thursday for the podcast, but we did it yesterday, and we talked Aussie dollar sell and why it could potentially crash. Now, we listed a few key factors about the US-China trade war and how that's essentially going to affect us a little bit, because we obviously import a lot. Well, I think we import proportionally the most to China, so they get most of our imports. And it's an interesting thing right now for us, because Donald Trump really hasn't backed down yet. There hasn't been really much open negotiation in regards to resolving the trade war. So it looks like it's just going to continue going on for a little while. And China is slowing down a little bit. And in Australia, domestically, we're just seeing some strong signs now that the property market is looking like it's going to decline, in Sydney and Melbourne properly now. So what I'm referring to there is you've got the banks who are on a little bit of duress. The Royal Commission's out as well, and the findings have been clearly made evident publicly. So you've got lending is tightening, like the criteria to actually get a loan. The Chinese investors that were buying up all the property in Sydney and Melbourne are like, well, it's a lot harder. We're not going to be doing that. They'll go somewhere else. I don't know, maybe they might want to come to Perth. That'd be good. You know, Perth is nice. Very hot in summertime though. If any Chinese investors are watching this, if you don't like a hot summer, Perth is probably not for you. But maybe just buy the place and just don't live in there, maybe. That might be the way to go. So anyway, back to the Forex markets. So the Aussie dollar, if we're talking, the most likely thing that I'll do is, you know, be selling the Aussie dollar. But the problem is, though, is that the Kiwi and the Aussie are pretty strongly correlated. Now, I have sold the Aussie dollar. Man, I sold it twice in September. I've already sold it once in October as well. And I had a trailing exit on that a little bit, and it was too tight. So I'm trying different things in the live account. I really want to see the capital working a little bit more, because I've been doing a very sort of strict trend trading method with it. And what I mean by that is it's very, very disciplined and strict. So I'll take a trade, the stop loss will be in place. I'll only move the stop loss once it's at like a 1R. So if I risk $100, once it's in $100 profit, I'll move the stop loss to break even. So, and then once it's profitable is really the key thing. So really getting a good exit strategy, I've found, is very important. So, you know, an entry is important. Like, you don't want to sell wildly into a bullish market. Like, I'm not saying to do that, but at the same time, you want to know how to take profits, you know, properly. You don't want to like take profits straight away, which people love to do, which is easy to do though at the same time, like, because especially as a new trader, if you're sort of seeing and you've got a bigger account and you're like, wow, I'm making money here, the immediate reaction will be like, well, I've got to take some profits. And that's, if you haven't really tested a strategy, it's very bad to do that, because it's misleading. That was the word I wanted, misleading, because you don't really know your win rate, you don't know possible returns based on testing results. And obviously the testing results are not set in stone, but it can lead you astray where you're like, well, I've made a couple of winning trades, this is really good, and then it can just sort of cascade into this free-for-all of adding more risk to positions, and then you start losing money. Normally how the markets work is if you start getting cocky, you'll immediately start losing money. That's just how the markets work. It's you know, they'll make you pay. I mean, you could get away for it for a few months, and then eventually they'll catch up with you. So be very cautious about that. Pardon me for just 1 second. It's a strong coffee before I hit the gym, and I might have a run today as well. It's like 23 degrees today, sunny, pretty nice. I don't know what's going to be like. I might just tap the window down a little bit. That should be okay, because the mic on this phone's pretty good. It's a Samsung. It's the latest Samsung S something. I don't even know, but I got it. It's not too bad. Like, I don't even have a GoPro or anything. I am really strongly contemplating vlogging. I sort of, I did one video and then I did a few others, and I found it quite difficult. I was running it at high definition. This was before I got the NBN, and it was just really difficult to actually upload to YouTube. Like, it was taking a long time for me to edit it. So I think really on my horizons is a proper laptop. All right. Yeah, I want a laptop. I want a decent laptop. So that's definitely coming very soon, I think, most definitely. So, okay. That's sort of it though with trades. The Aussie dollar is sort of it. You know, where it currently closed, it might have closed at like 70.5 cents or so. Now the next support level for that pair I've got at 69.60, and then that 69.60, if it breaks through there, now 69.60 was the low about 3 years ago, so in August 2015, and if it breaks below there, there's a possibility it could get to the 2008 lows of 60 cents. So you just need to think about that a little bit, and the potential, you know, that's there when it comes to the Aussie dollar. And it's a situation where you've got the fundamentals are sort of lined up pretty nicely with the catalyst, and it's very hard to see some miraculous recovery fundamentally in the Australian economy. And I'm not saying it's dire straits, but a lot of people, have leveraged themselves quite highly on the fact that property values are going to go up more, and there's sort of an urgency for them to go up higher because of when they got the money, it was cheap from the bank, and now the bank has to protect itself. So it's the RBA won't raise rates, but the banks can. So it's an interesting little situation for people, especially for the people who got interest only loans. So it could sort of get very interesting once there's a point where people can't really afford to service these loans. There'll be some interest rate number, I don't know, and you see panic. And what will happen is, if there is panic that comes into the market, which happens, booms and bust sort of cycles, you could potentially see a lot of people wanting to offload their properties, and there's only so many people that want to buy them, and they won't be getting return on their money, and the banks will have all these people that just can't afford to pay the loan back, and sort of we'll see though what happens. It's hard to tell time frames on these things, but from a technical standpoint, that's what the chart's telling you, and the chart's sort of telling you that it's a potential sell trade. So definitely want to watch here. I thought it was going to go green then, but it didn't go green. That's a nice white Golf R just across the lights there. Nice one. I used to have a Golf R. It was a blue. This is a long set of lights here now. This is long. Normally it changes straight away. But anyway, so Forex on the weekend. Now, if you do sort of want to learn more about Forex and you've stumbled across this video, obviously this is a small channel. There's a lot out there to watch, and you might be saying to yourself, wow, I want to, just make money from this. And I was in the same boat. Probably it wasn't even 3 years ago. November 2015 was when I really sort of stumbled properly in Forex. And I'm not a full-time Forex trader or anything like that, but a lot of people that I've encountered who are very good at trading, and that do it to make a living, all sort of say the same thing, where you don't want to just roll into quitting everything and just trading. You always want to sort of have something else going on, just in case, like your strategy could have a month where it doesn't make any money. So you got to be wary of that a little bit. I've just seen the time now as well. I've sort of dribbled on long enough, but that's the main play here, is the Aussie dollar. Look, it's the only issue that I have is that I've sold the Kiwi already, and I bought the USD Swiss, so I've got 4% risk on it at the moment. Would I take on 6? It's a little challenging because I've sort of got all my eggs in one basket, where I want the US dollar to continue to get stronger. So it's sort of hard to say. We'll see. We'll see what happens Monday. What I'd like to see Monday is that the Aussie goes sideways or even strengthens a little bit, because you could see it rally to 72 odd cents. I think 72.2 was when I last sold it. Obviously, I don't have that position anymore. That'd be really great if I still did. And then you sort of want to go from there. So on a Monday, it's a strange thing. You don't necessarily want the pair you're watching to sort of go in your favor. You sort of want it to go sideways. You don't want it to do too much, because Mondays are sort of the days where not much does happen, and it's okay to be a bit quieter as well. So that's one thing to maybe take note of. Like if you're watching something and it dramatically falls, that's not really typical, and you might just sort of want to review that position and go, okay, this is, we might be seeing a lot of dip buyers come up here, so just pay close attention to that. I think everyone slowed down because they thought it was a speed camera. So there's a lot of cars on the road. It's Sunday. What is it? Sunday 140. It's just a lot of cars on the road. Anyway, I think I will end the video, guys, now. So in conclusion, I will try and do a chart analysis video, because obviously that's a little more helpful with exact, marks on the chart and whatnot, or when I might sell and stop loss placements and things like that. But if you haven't already, check out the previous video that I put out, which was Trade Talk Pippin and Easy, episode 83, with Connor, another Forex trader out of Tasmania. And we talk about the Aussie dollar in a little more detail on the charts. We go into the fundamentals. We go into some key financial statistics on new home constructions and whatnot and things like that, and a little more professional than this with me talking live on a YouTube video. So check it out, guys, and that's it for now. If you have any questions, it's probably easiest just to leave it in the comment section, and then we can expand from there. So if you want to take it to WhatsApp, Discord, Telegram, all those chats, we can Skype. I'm happy to do that. I'll go into more detail on those sort of things in regards to exactly when I sort of see a setup, and then we can sort of go from there. Instead of, although sometimes I will do live trading, I will try and do like a live trading video. I've done that actually before. So, and especially if this work thing sort of goes off, and I moved to Sydney and everything like that, but that's to be determined. I've got a few things to take care of before I sort of go and do that. But I think that's probably going to be the video, guys. I'm just gonna reach and switch it off. That's the main thing. I just want to make sure there's no police around, because I think if you touch the phone, even if it's in the cradle, that's still a no-no. So it's all clear. All right, anyway, guys, have a great day, and bye for now.